Hello and welcome to a new series called Gluten Freed. This series has two parts, recipes and FAQs. In some of the recipes I will be making, I will use gluten substitutes, but for the most part it's going to be naturally gluten-free foods. Why? Because it's healthier. And as you can tell by my physique, I care a lot about that. And it's easier. And as you can tell by my physique, I care a lot about that. So let's kick off this show with something super easy and super delicious. The problem is I just don't know what to call it. Let's say tomato salad. I guess it's kind of like a poor man's caprese salad. It's delicious, not that horrible for you, and it's easy. So what you need for this tomato salad is just a bunch of cherry tomatoes, some fresh mozzarella, and then for this one we're going to use artichoke hearts because my mom likes artichoke hearts and I'm a good daughter, so I'm going to make it with artichoke hearts. And then just some Italian dressing. I just bought the cheap stuff because I'm cheap. Make sure to clean the tomatoes because nobody wants E. coli this time of year. After you've washed the tomatoes, just cut them in half and put them in a container. Okay, so now you have your halved tomatoes. Then take out some mozzarella and I always dry it off with paper towels first and then just cut it into quarters. With this recipe you can make it as healthy or unhealthy as you want, and the way that you can do that is by adding or subtracting cheese. I love cheese and I love being unhealthy, so I'm going to add a lot of cheese to this. Okay, and now here's for my least favorite part, artichokes. But I'm just going to take some out of this can and dry them off a little bit so that there's not so much liquid, whatever it's in, and make it so that I'm going to have like 3 or 4 pieces like this size, so that it's not too much, but you still get the artichokes in it. Alright, so far you have 3 ingredients, and then it's just the last step, which is adding the Italian dressing, or whatever you want. I mean, I use Zesty Italian, I use the cheapest brand that you can get, and it doesn't really matter what dressing you use, but I would definitely recommend using an oil-based like an Italian dressing. This is another part where you can determine how healthy or unhealthy you want it. I love being unhealthy and I love Italian dressing, so I'm going to add a lot of Italian dressing. Okay. So then my hands are already dirty, so I'm just going to mix it around with my hands. But it's dirty with artichoke hearts and cheese and tomatoes and not something else. My hands are clean otherwise. So I have this all together. As you can see, there's some dressing at the bottom because I make sure that it has enough to really marinate in it. And so after this, you just put it in the refrigerator for a couple hours or so and let those flavors soak into the tomatoes and the cheese. And then you can just eat it with a fork or whatever. You can use it as a snack, or I wouldn't necessarily say this is a meal because there's no protein in it, but you can have it as a side dish or whatever. It tastes really good, really simple, pretty cheap, and it's gluten-free. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned to this channel for more gluten-freed videos.